Jai Hind, dear children. You are aware of the serious situations we are facing because of COVID 19. It has turned everything upside down in our life. All that we can do is to keep the pandemic at an arm's length. So, follow the safety measures like wearing masks, washing hands, using sanitizers without any fail. Today, we are going to start a new chapter in geography. Our geography is last chapter, Lifelines of National Economy. From the name itself, it is very clear to us that we are going to study something which is related to our economic development. In every country's economy, its base related to two main groups of people. Who were they? Any guess? Yeah, they were the producers and the consumers, and they form the base of our economy. Through our sectors, we are producing finished goods, and from supply location, these goods reach to the demand location through a medium created by traders. And these traders took the help of our most modern transportation facilities to reach this goal. Therefore, we can say that the pace of development depend upon the production of goods and services as well as their movements over the space. This means that if there is a movement of goods from one place to another is going on in our country, then only development will be in full fledged and it leads to the economic development of our country. So, in this chapter, we want to study in detail about the different means of transportation that help our country to have an overall development in all means. So, our means of transport were divided into three: land, water, and air. In land, it includes roadways, railways, and pipeline transportation. In water, it consists of inland navigation and overseas port facilities. And the third one, air transportation, which includes domestic airways having public undertaking system and private airlines and the international airways. We want to study each one of these transportation facilities in detail in this chapter, and also their merits, demerits, and the various challenges faced by them. Before going directly into this topic, first we want to know in detail about the interrelated connection between trade, transport, and communication and its main effects. Efficient and fast means of transport and communication converted the world into a large village. Or we can say that transport, communication, and trade are complementary to each other. So, we want to know about the reasons why efficient and fast means of transport and communication converted the world into a large village. Or otherwise, we can say that there is a what we can say there is a complementary relation between transport, communication, and trade. So now we are going to study the various reasons why the transport, communication, and trade are complementary to each other. In today's world, there is a lot of need of efficient and fast moving transport, and we can achieve this fast moving new mode of transportation in our country with the help of developed communication system. So once again, in today's world, there is a lot of need of efficient and fast moving transport, and we can achieve this with the help of new developed communication system. India is well linked with the rest of the world in spite of its vast size and diversity by the three aspects, mainly trade, transport, and communication. So, this is also one reason why we can say that These three are complementary to each other. Another reason why these three are complementary to each other. Our means of transport like airways, waterways and landways, along with our communication systems like radio, newspapers, cinema, internet, have been contributing a lot to the socio-economic progress of our country. That means it helps to develop our society and at the same time to have an economic development of our country. So this is also another reason for a complementary link between trade, transport and communication. Another reason why trade, transport and communication are complementary to each other. The trade from local to international level have added to the vitality of its economy, and it has enriched our life and added substantially to growing amenities and facilities for the comforts of life. So, the trade from local to international level. If the trade is developing, then at the same time our economic condition is also developing, and with that developed economic condition, what we do, we enriched our life with the new amenities and facilities to comfort our life. As a result of all this, the trade they are developing and they help the development of transportation and communication system in our country. At the same time, it led to the overall development of the economy and the life conditions of the citizens also. Another important idea related to transportation is that the transportation routes are called the arteries of our economy. So now we want to study what are the reasons why these transportation routes are called the arteries of our economy. The first reason why the transportation routes are called the arteries of our economy is that it is a transportation that bring far-flung areas of a country quite closer to each other. So as it is bringing out such a good merit to our country, these transportations are called as the arteries of our economy. It is the transportation that carry the greatest number of passengers to longest journey in lesser time with all comforts. Because of that reason also we want to give a lot of importance to our transportation. Another important merit of the transportation is that not only they are carrying largest number of passengers to different parts of the country, they also carry thousands of tons of different commodities from one part of the country to the other to avoid much hardships of the people. So at the both time they are helping the passengers, at the same time they are helping the traders also for the export and import of their commodities. So as a result of this main reason also, we can consider the transportation as the arteries of our economy. During war times also, the transportation bring the whole country at the back of the armed forces and facilitate the movements of arms, ammunition and other supplies. That means during the war times also, the whole country were helped a lot by this transportation system. Means of proper transportation and communication system were used by the government to maintain law and order in the country. So as a result of all these reasons, we can consider the transportation system as the arteries of our economy, because it brings a far-flung areas of our country's areas together. Then it carry large number of passengers in a lesser time with more comforts. Then it also carry thousands of tons of commodities from one part of the country to other part to avoid much hardships of the people. During war times also they are helping the whole country. Then the government also use this transportation and communication system to maintain law and order. From all these we can understand that trade, transport and communication are always linked to each other, and without one the other cannot perform properly. Next we are going to study in detail about the three main means of transportation in India, like land, water and air. So first we are going to study about the land transport, which includes roadways, railways and pipeline transportation. And second one, waterways or water transport, which includes inland waterways and overseas port facilities. And the third one, air transport, which includes domestic airways and international airways. So first of all, we are going to study in detail about the land transportation system, which includes roadways, railways and pipeline transportation. First, we are going to study about the characteristic features of roadways in India or the importance of roadways in India. So, the first main characteristic feature is that India has one of the largest road network in the world. That means there are some largest countries in the world which are having largest road networks, and our India is one among them. So, we can say that India has one of the largest road networks in the world, and our country's aggregating road kilometer is about 54.7 lakh. So its aggregating kilometers is about 54.7 lakh. And another important merit of this roadway is that in India, roadways have preceded over railways, or roadways have an edge over railways. That means our country is giving more importance to roadways rather than railways. So now we are going to study what are the reasons why we are giving a lot of importance to roadways rather than railways. The first reason is that the construction cost of roadways is lower than that of railway lines or railways. So because of that reason, that is the most important reason why our country is giving more important to roadways rather than railways. Its construction cost is very less compared to railways. The next reason why we are giving a lot of importance to road transportation is that road can traverse comparatively more dissected and undulating topography, because where it is very difficult to construct railway lines in hilly areas and very high slopey areas, all that in that areas also we can construct these roadways. So the roadways can traverse comparatively more dissected and undulating topography compared to railways. The next reason is that roads can negotiate higher gradients of slopes and mountains. For example, Himalayas, all that. So in that areas also, anyway, we can construct these roads compared to railway lines. For that reason also, we are giving a lot of importance to road transport. Road transportation is economical in transportation of few persons and relatively smaller amount of goods over short distances. So for short distance, it's very easy to use this road transportation rather than rail transportation, because for few persons and for smaller amount of goods and services, this road transportation is better, far more better than the rail transportation. Road transport provide door-to-door accessibility. That means this type of door-to-door service is not provided by any other means of transport. So that is another important merit of this road transport, that it provides door-to-door accessibility. The cost of loading and unloading is much cheaper in road transport rather than rail transport. So that also it's another merit of this road transportation system. That means the cost of loading and unloading is much cheaper in road transport. Road transport can also be used as a feeder to other modes of transport, as they provide link between railway stations, airports and seaports. So the road transport can also be called as a feeder transport, because to other modes of transport, they provide link between railway stations, airports and seaports. As a result of all these features, roadways are presided over railways. Next important topic related to road transportation that we are going to study is the classification of roads. Next important topic related to road transportation is the classification of roads. Roads can be classified into two categories on the basis of their capacity, and the second one is on the basis of material used. So first we are going to study about the first classification, that is on the basis of their capacity. Roads are classified into six. They are golden quadrilateral superhighways, national highways, state highways, district roads, other roads which includes rural roads, and the last one, that is border roads. So now we are going to study in detail about each one of these road transports or these types of roads in India. So first we are going to study about the first classification of roads, that is golden quadrilateral super highways. So we are now going to study the main characteristic features of these golden quadrilateral super highways. The government of India has launched a major road development project linking Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, and Delhi back to Delhi. That means the main areas that are linking as a result of this golden quadrilateral superhighways are Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, and back to Delhi. This route took the shape of a quadrilateral, so it is known as a golden quadrilateral superhighways, and it is a 6-lane superhighway. So once again, the government has launched a major road development project linking Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, and Delhi. It took the shape of a quadrilateral, so it is known as golden quadrilateral superhighways, and it is a 6-lane superhighway. The north-south corridors linking Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu, and the east-west corridors linking Silchar in Assam to Porbandar in Gujarat are part of this project. So once again, the north-south corridors linking Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir and Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu, and east-west corridors linking Silchar in Assam to Porbandar in Gujarat are part of this project. The main objective of this superhighways is to reduce the time and distance between the mega cities of India and to meet the requirements of fast movement of traffic. So once again, the major objective of this superhighways is to reduce the time and distance between the mega cities of India and also to meet the requirements of fast movement of traffic. The National Highway Authority of India construct and maintain the golden quadrilateral super highways. So once again, for the construction and maintenance, it is the National Highway Authority of India to take care of the golden quadrilateral super highways. The next one is the national highways. National highways are the primary route system. They link extreme parts of the country. So once again, the national highways are primary road system and they link extreme parts of the country. National highways connecting national capitals with other state capitals. And these national highways serve as main road to the country. They run in north, south and east, west directions. So once again, the national highway connects the national capital with other state capitals. They serve as main roads to the country and they run in north, south and east, west direction. The national highways are constructed and maintained by the Central Public Work Department CPWD. So once again, national highways are constructed and maintained by the Central Public Work Department CPWD. The historical Sharsha Suri Marg or GT Road is called National Highway number 1, which connects Delhi and Amritsar. So once again, the historical Sharsha Suri Marg or GT Road is called National Highway number 1, which connects Delhi and Amritsar. The next one is the National Highway number 7 is the longest, which connects Varanasi to Kanyakumari, and its total kilometer is 2369 kilometer. So the next most important national highway is National Highway number 7. It is the longest, which connects Varanasi to Kanyakumari, and its total kilometer is 2369 kilometer. The next one is National Highway number 8, which connects Delhi and Mumbai. So the next one is National Highway number 8, which connects Delhi and Mumbai. The next one is National Highway number 15, which connects or covers most part of Rajasthan. So the next one is National Highway number 15, which connects or covers most part of Rajasthan. So in this chapter we want to study about the National Highway number 1, that is Shashasuri Mark, and the next one is National Highway number 7, which connects Varanasi to Kanyakumari. Next is National Highway number 8, which connects Delhi and Mumbai. And the last one is National Highway number 15, which connects or covers most part of Rajasthan. Next is state highways. Roads linking a state capital with different district headquarters are known as state highways. So what is a state highway? Roads linking a state capital with different district headquarters are known as state highways. State highways connect various regions within the state. These state highways, they are connecting various regions within the states. And the state highways serve as a feeder to the national highways. So once again, roads linking a state capital with different district headquarters are known as state highways, and they connect various regions within the state, and they serve as a feeder to the national highways. State highways are constructed and maintained by the State Public Works Department, PWD, in state and union territories. So the state highways are constructed and maintained by the State Public Works Department, PWD, in state and union territories. Next is the district roads. Roads connected the district headquarters with other places of the districts are called district roads. So once again, roads connected the district headquarters with other places of the districts are called district roads. The district roads are constructed and maintained by the Sila Parikshita. So the district roads construction and maintenance were under the control of the local self-government, and its main organ, like the Sila Parikshit, its duty is to just construct and maintains the district roads in our country. Roads which link rural areas and villages with towns are called rural roads. So what are rural roads? Roads which link rural areas and villages with towns are called rural roads. The rural roads received special impetus under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. That means the rural roads are constructed and maintained under the control or help of this Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. Special provisions are also made so that every village in the country is linked to a major town in the country by an all-season motorable road. These roads are maintained by state level agencies. So once again, these rural roads receive special care under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana, and special provisions are made so that every village in the country is linked to a major town in the country by an all-season motorable road. And these roads are maintained by the state level agencies. Border roads are of strategic importance in the northern and northeastern border areas. These roads improve accessibility in areas of difficult terrain and high altitude, such as Manali to Leh. These roads help in the economic development of border areas, and the border roads also strengthen our defense system in the border areas. So once again, border roads are of strategic importance in the northern and northeastern border areas. These roads improve accessibility in areas of difficult terrain and high altitude such as Manali to Leh. These roads, that means the border roads, help in the economic development of border areas. And the border roads also strengthen our defense system in the border areas of our country. The Border Roads Organization (BRO), a Government of India undertaking, constructs and maintains roads in the bordering areas of the country. So once again, the Border Roads Organization (BRO), a Government of India undertaking, constructs and maintains roads in the bordering areas of the country. So these are the 6 main classification of roads on the basis of their capacity. The second classification for the division of roads on the basis of the material used are metalled and unmetalled roads. So again, roads on the basis of the material used for their construction were divided into 2 as metalled roads and unmetalled roads. Metalled roads may be made of cement, concrete, or even bitumen of coal. These roads are stronger and better for traffic. These roads are all weathered roads. So once again, metalled roads may be made of cement, concrete, or even bitumen of coal. Metal roads are stronger and better for traffic, and these roads are all weathered roads. Unmetalled roads may be made of soil, mud, and bricks. Traffic cannot move smoothly or fast on these roads. These roads go out of use in the rainy season. So once again, unmetalled roads may be made of soil, mud, and bricks. Traffic cannot move smoothly or fast on unmetalled roads. And unmetalled roads go out of use in the rainy season. Next topic we want to study in this chapter is road density. What is density of roads? The length of road per 100 square kilometer of area is known as density of roads. So once again, what is density of roads? The length of road per 100 square kilometer of area is known as density of roads. Distribution of roads is not uniform in India. Why? So here we want to study the reason why there is no uniform distribution of roads in India. The first reason why there is no uniformity in the distribution of roads in India is that the density of all roads vary from only 12.14 km in Jammu and Kashmir to 517.77 km in Kerala in 2011, with a national average of 142.68 km. So once again, the density of all roads vary from only 12.14 km in Jammu and Kashmir to 517.77 km in Kerala in 2011, with the national average of 142.68 km. About half of the roads in India are unmetalled. As a result of this, it is not usable during the rainy season. And another reason, the national highways are inadequate, that they are not up to the mark on the basis of its quality and quantity. And most of the bridges and culverts in India are old and narrow. That also another reason for the uneven distribution of roads in India. Nature of terrain and the level of economic development, these two considered as the main determinants of density of roads, because construction of roads is easy and cheaper in plain areas, while it is difficult and costly in hilly and plateau regions. So because of that, the nature of terrain and the level of economic development are considered as the main determinants of the density of roads. Next, we want to study why the density and quality of roads are better in the northern plains than in other parts of India. There are some reasons that led to the density and quality of roads better in northern plain areas that we are going to study next. due to level land, that is flat lands, and soft rocks. The construction of the roadways is much cheaper and easier in the northern plains of India. Northern Plains is the most densely populated region and agriculturally and industrially developed area also. So in this area, the transport and other facilities is very necessary. And if the road transportation is very much developed in this area, it leads to the overall development of our country. And the extreme north, northeastern, and northwestern parts and the interior part of Deccan have rugged, sandy, and uneven terrain compared to these northern plains. So, because of all these reasons, the northern plains is having a good quality and density of roads in India. In the northeastern parts of India, construction of roads is comparatively difficult and costly because these regions have rugged topography and sparsely population also, and agriculture also less developed. Therefore, the network of road is very less. So, because of all these reasons, the density and quality of roads are better in northern plains compared to all other areas of India. Next, we are going to study about the various problems faced by the road transport in India. The first problem faced by the road transport in India is that our road network is inadequate. It means there is some lag in the quality and quantity as it required. So, as a result of this, it faces a lot of problems in our country. The second problem faced by the road transport in India is that about half of the roads in India are still unmetalled roads. So, this limits their usage mainly during the rainy season. So, the second problem faced by the road transport is that half of the roads in India are unmetalled and this limits their usage during the rainy season. Some of the other problems faced by the road transport in India is that the highways are highly congested in cities and most of the bridges and culverts are old and narrow. So, as a result of these two problems, what happens is that there arose a lot of traffic problems in our country. And another one is that especially the national highways are having lag in quality and quantity. That means it is also inadequate. And the maintenance of roads in our country are very poor. Because of all these reasons, our road transport is facing a lot of problems. Roadside amenities like emergency help services, police protection, and communication are not sufficient and approachable in our country. So, at the same time, journey by road is not comfortable and prone to various accidents and traffic jams. So, these are the important problems faced by the road transport in India. The second section related to the land transportation is the railways. So, the Indian railways are the principal mode of transportation for freight and passengers in India because railways conduct multifarious activities like business, sightseeing, pilgrimage, along with transportation of goods over longer distances. At the same time, our Indian railway have been a great integrating force to bind the economic life of the country as well as accelerate the development of industry and agriculture for the past 150 years. So, for the past 150 years, our Indian railway is working a lot to bind the economic life of the country by giving importance to our agriculture and industry. The Indian Railway have a network of 7,133 stations spread over a route length of 64,460 km with a fleet of 9,213 locomotives, 53,220 passenger service vehicles, 6,493 other coach vehicles and 2 lakh 29,381 wagons around 2011. So that much developed our Indian Railway with a length of 64,460 kilometer, stations around 7,133 stations, and they are having around 9,213 locomotives. Then around 53,220 passenger service vehicles, then 2,29,381 wagons. Because of all this, we can say that our Indian Railway is developed a lot. The Indian Railway is now reorganized with 16 zones. Today, the railway have become more important in our national economy than all other means of transport. So once again, the Indian Railway is now reorganized with 16 zones, and our railway have become an important, very much important in our national economy than all other means of transport. Indian Railway is the largest public sector undertaking in our country. So which is the largest public sector undertaking? Our Indian Railway. The first train steamed off from Mumbai to Thane in 1853. And Indian Railway transport more than 5,000 lakh tons every year. That means about 80% of the total good transportation is taken by our Indian Railway. So once again, it is the largest public sector undertaking in India, and the first train is steamed off from Mumbai to Thane in 1853. So these are some of the most important characteristic features of our Indian Railways. Now we are going to study another important topic related to Indian Railway. Is that the distribution pattern of our railway network in India has been largely influenced by physiographic, economic and administrative factors. So once again, the distribution pattern of our railway network in India has been largely influenced by physiographic, economic and administrative factors. So now we want to study what are the physiographic, economic and administrative factors that affect the distribution pattern of railway network in India. The northern plains with their vast level lands, that means flat lands, high population density and rich agricultural resources provide the most favorable condition for the expansion of railway in India. So that's one of the merit. Because of these physiographic features and economic development also, our government is very much giving interest to start or to construct railway lines in these areas, mainly the northern plains. But there are some other areas which create a pause to the expansion of railway network in our country. For example, that we are going to study next in detail. A large number of rivers required construction of bridges across the wide beds, posed some obstacles. Why? Because to our Indian government, it is an overburden to construct both the bridges then the railway tracks in that areas. So in these areas, construction of railways will be very less. In the hilly terrains of the Peninsular region, railway tracks are laid only through low hills or gaps or tunnels, constructing tunnels. And in these areas also, our Indian government want to spend a lot of money. So the expansion will be very less in these areas. The Himalayan mountain regions are also unfavorable for the construction of railway lines. Why? Due to high relief, sparse population and lack of economic opportunities. So because of these reasons, sparse population is there, high relief and lack of economic opportunities, our government is not giving that much importance to construct railway lines in these Himalayan mountain regions. Sandy plains of western Rajasthan, swamps of Gujarat, forested areas of northern states like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Jharkhand are also unfavorable to lay railway lines in India. So the sandy plains of western Rajasthan, that means the desert areas, swamps of Gujarat, Then the forested areas of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Jharkhand are unfavorable to lay railway lines. The contiguous stretch of Sahyadri could be crossed only through gaps or passes. So, in the early years, it also created some obstacles to railway expansion. But as this area is considered as the most important economic region of India, our government took several special steps to overcome this problem by constructing Konkan Railway along the west coast of India. From all this, we can understand that the distribution pattern of railway in our country is highly influenced by physiographic, economic and administrative factors, because in some areas the physiographic or geographical factors created some pose or obstacles to the construction of railway lines, and our government has taken many steps to overcome the obstacles and to construct railway tracks in that areas to increase the economic development of our country. Next, we want to study the major problems faced by the railway system in our country. So once again, next we want to study some of the major problems faced by the Indian railways. One of the main problems faced by our railway system is many of the passengers who are traveling in train, they are traveling without tickets. So it creates some economic burden to our railway. People stop the trains and pull chains unnecessarily. It also created some energy overuse problems in our Indian railway. So once again, people stop the trains and pull chains unnecessarily. It also creates some problems to our Indian railway. There is damaging of railway property by miscreants, and it is deficient to cope up with other population also. So these are some of the major problems faced by the Indian railway. By traveling without tickets, damaging our railway properties, stopping trains and pulling chains, that also create another energy problems. So all these are the major problems faced by our Indian railway. And as Indian citizens, we all want to unite to safeguard our railway transportation by overcoming all these problems created by us. The next topic we want to study related to land transportation is the pipelines. Pipeline transportation network is a new arrival on the transportation map of India. It is the most convenient and efficient mode of transportation of liquids and gases in large quantities over long distance. So once again, it is the most convenient and efficient mode of transportation of liquids and gases in large quantities over long distances. It is used for transporting crude oil, petroleum products and natural gas. As there is increase in automobile sector, increasing use of cooking gas in the houses, increasing use of CNG in large quantities in the vehicles in running in metropolitan cities, and the demand for pipeline transportation is increasing day by day. So what are the reasons for the demand of this pipeline transportation day by day? It is used for transporting crude oils, petroleum products, natural gas, because our automobile sector is increasing day by day, and cooking gas is uses in houses in a large amount, and increased use of CNG in vehicles in metropolitan cities is also increasing. Because of all these reasons, the importance of pipeline transportation is increasing day by day. And this pipeline transportation is also the most convenient and efficient mode of transporting liquid and gas over long distance. Solid can also be transported through pipeline when converted into slurry. So, and at the same time, it reduces environmental hazards. So, because of its convenient, efficient mode of transportation for liquid and gases, and solid can also be transported through pipelines when converted into slurry, and it also reduces environmental hazards. Because of all these reasons, in the recent time, the importance and demand of pipeline transportation is increasing in India day by day. The cost of pipeline transportation is cheaper than rail or road transportation because the initial cost of laying pipelines is high, but subsequent running costs are minimal. They can be laid through different terrain as well as underwater, involving very low energy consumption. So, the cost of pipeline transportation is cheaper than rail or road transportation because the initial cost of laying pipelines is high, but subsequent running costs are minimal. At the same time, it can laid through difficult terrain as well as underwater, involving very low energy consumption. It rules out transshipment losses or delays. So the pipeline transportation rules out transshipment losses or delays. The far inland location of refineries like Barauni in Bihar, Madurai in Uttar Pradesh, and Panipat in Haryana, and gas-based fertilizer plants could be set up due to pipeline transportation. So once again, the far inland location of refineries like Barauni in Bihar, Madurai in Uttar Pradesh, Panipat in Haryana, and gas-based fertilizer plants could be set up due to pipeline transportation. Next, we are going to study about the three important pipeline transportation networks in India. The first important pipeline transportation network in India is from oil field in Upper Assam to Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. That means through Guwahati in Assam, Barauni in Bihar, and Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. And it has branches from Barauni, Bihar to Haldia in West Bengal. And that means through Rajband in West Bengal. And from Rajband to Maurigram. Again, this Maurigram is there in West Bengal. And Guwahati to Silguri in West Bengal. So, the first pipeline transportation is from oil field in Upper Assam to Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. And we are through Guwahati in Assam, Barauni in Bihar, and Allahabad in Uttar Pradesh. It has branches from Barauni, Bihar to Haldia in West Bengal. Then from Rajband, West Bengal to Maurigram in West Bengal. And again from Guwahati, Assam to Silguri in West Bengal. This is the first pipeline transportation of oil field in India. The second most important pipeline transportation in India is from Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar in Punjab through Viragam in Gujarat, Madurai in Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, and Sonipat in Haryana. It has branches to connect Koili in Gujarat, Chakshuk in Rajasthan, and other places. So the second most important pipeline transportation in India is from Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar in Punjab through Viragam in Gujarat, Madurai in Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, and Sonipat in Haryana. It has branches to connect Koili in Gujarat, Chakshuk in Rajasthan, and other places. The third one is the longest gas pipeline in India. It is the Hazria Vijaypur Jagdishpur gas pipeline, that is a HVJ gas pipeline. It is Hazria Vijaypur Jagdishpur gas pipeline. From Hazria in Gujarat to Jagdishpur in Uttar Pradesh through Vijaypur in Madhya Pradesh. The third gas pipeline, it has branches to Kota in Rajasthan, Shah Jahanpur in Uttar Pradesh, Babrala in Uttar Pradesh, and other places in Uttar Pradesh. So once again, the third pipeline transportation is the longest gas pipeline in India. It is Hazria Vijaypur Jagdishpur gas pipeline. It is otherwise known as HVJ gas pipeline, and it starts from Hazria in Gujarat to Jagdishpur in Uttar Pradesh through Vijaypur in Madhya Pradesh. It has branches to Kota in Rajasthan, Shah Jahanpur in Uttar Pradesh, Babrala in Uttar Pradesh, and other places in Uttar Pradesh. The far inland location of refineries and gas-based fertilizer plants are brought together by this HVJ gas pipeline. This HVJ gas pipeline helped to overcome transshipment losses or delays. So, HVJ gas pipeline is also known as the artery of Indian gas transportation. So, which is known as the artery of Indian gas transportation? HVJ gas pipeline is known as the artery of Indian gas transportation. And it is 1700 kilometer long cross country gas pipeline, and it links Mumbai High and the basins with fertilizer, power and industrial complexes in western and northern India. This artery has provided an impetus to India's gas transportation. So, the total length of this HVJ gas pipeline is 1700 kilometer. The power and fertilizer industries are the key users of natural gas. So now we are having a recall of what we studied in this video. So we studied first we studied about the importance of trade, transport and communication, how they are complementary to each other. Then we studied the three means of transport or modes of transport in our country, that is land, water and airways. And land, we studied about the roadways, railways and the pipeline transportation. And next we studied about the important characteristic features of roadways, why the roadways are always preceded over railways, the different classification of roadways, then why the different classification of roadways on the basis of their capacity and on the basis of the material used, then the problems faced by the roadways. Then we studied the importance of railways, why our country is not having uniform distribution of railway pattern in all over our country. Then we studied the problems faced by the railways also. Then the next topic we studied is the pipeline transportation, their main characteristic features, the three important types of pipeline transportation we are having in our country. My dear children, please watch the video very carefully, copy down all the important points and read your textbook 3 or 4 times. Okay, thank you.